Gamers hate crypto. Gamers hate Web3. Gamers hate NFTs. Why? Why do gamers hate it so much? Why are we so misunderstood? Well, as someone who spent thousands of hours grinding Web3 games, I think the main problem is that there's so much get-rich-quick content, not play to earn, mind you, but like investment speculation type content around these games. Crypto gaming content is like a pile of dog shit with flies swarming around it. Except instead of flies, it's desperate people trying to get rich quick. I'm not talking about you. I know you just went, what, me? Me? I'm just trying to make a buck. I'm not talking about people wanting to make money. Everyone wants to make money. But unfortunately, cringe, like super short term 100x to the moon style crypto speculators are some of the loudest people remaining in Web3 gaming. This creates a self-defeating cycle for Web3 gaming culture. Speculators are obsessed with these crappy YouTube videos where people just kind of rehash the latest press release from Gala Games or other ecosystems, and they say, this is going to the moon, this is generational wealth, it's a big opportunity, the tokenomics, the token burns, hundreds of new games taking over the world. Speculators are obsessed with this manic sort of content. Gamers are repulsed by it, and the more that the financial speculation content is what's on top, the more that gamers who look into crypto gaming are likely to see that stuff and just not want any part of the whole space. And keep in mind, I try to make positive content. I'm not here to hate on anybody. I mean, one of the guys in the thumbnail, I have a few channels. Like, I have Kagi in there. Kagi's work ethic is undeniable. He's a really smart dude. He has a lot of good content. Even on-chain gaming and probably Classy Crypto, the other guys in the thumbnail, they have some good videos. I'm not actually here to say those channels have no value. I watch pretty much anything I can find on crypto that's remotely informed. And I'm not here to hate on anybody. Whatever it is, though, this financial speculation content, unfortunately, is more resilient than gameplay content right now. It is really hard to make gameplay content for Web3 gaming, especially outside of streaming. It's one thing to stream and just play a game for a while. Making 2 or 3 videos a week and having interesting things to say that are fun and it's about the gameplay, and maybe you don't even have to play the game. It's not a tutorial. It's just like, like there's a lot of great content around RuneScape or Dark Souls or Call of Duty or games where people come up with these like really interesting challenges. I've been watching Settled's newest RuneScape series, for example. He only has 1 inventory slot and he's seeing what he can do. And it's just fun to watch someone masterfully explore a game with incredible limitations self-imposed. It's hard to do that stuff, though. And in crypto gaming, with the gameplay that's allowed, or the gameplay that's available, there's not always a lot of meat on those bones. There's not a lot to work with. And unfortunately, it is pretty easy to make a video saying, have you heard of Poopcoin? Its tokenomics are incredible. It's gonna 100x. And let me read through the white paper, but like kind of keep it off screen, and you'll think I'm telling you a bunch of new stuff. It's just easier to make 100x style content than it is to think of original gameplay content, especially when a lot of the audience right now in crypto actually wants the speculative content, which is repulsing gamers. So the content cycle is financial content does well, people make more of it, people watch more of it, and it only makes gamers less interested the more that cycle goes round. It's a tricky thing. How do we fix this? As a gamer right now, you have to play a lot of underwhelming early alpha gameplay. Most of the games that are grindable right now are TCGs, which is really something, trading card games, which is something that a specific kind of gamer, including me, really enjoys, but not everyone's trying to play trading card games all day. There's a reason some of the best and most promising projects in NFT gaming are avoiding the entire crypto culture. Notice how Dr. Disrespect with his game Dead Drop is simply not engaging with crypto Twitter, not acknowledging crypto Twitter, not discussing crypto culture. Dude is not interested. He's here just to build a game. And his game is probably one of the most likely to succeed because he seems to have a lot of organization, a lot of funding, and they've done a good job so far with their NFT drops and their mints. But it's not a part of crypto culture. Dr. Disrespect's not going to Twitter spaces, and so it's not really part of the conversation. You see this again and again where the projects that like sort of crypto Twitter and like the small echo chamber of Web3 gaming content. Like, you see stuff that is bouncing around in there, but it's often unrelated to what's actually relevant out here in the real world. And again, the more it's about financial speculation, the more we go, you know what? I don't care. I'm not ashamed. I'm happy to talk about investing in gaming. Like, no shame. Hashtag 100x to the moon. You're just pushing away gamers more and more. It doesn't matter how much crypto accepts that. Gaming is not here to try to get rich off of games. Like, the majority of people who engage in gaming are doing so for the fun, and a very small amount do it for professional opportunities. And those players have to put in a tremendous sacrifice, a tremendous commitment. Everyone, I mean, everyone watching this has probably tried to make gaming content or tried to get to the top rank in a game. You know how hard it is. So how do we break out of this? A few thoughts. Twitch and live streaming in general is good for forcing more of a gameplay focus. It's pretty hard to talk about how excited you are about a coin that's going to go to the moon if you want to do a 7-hour stream. That's a lot of time to sit there staring at those damn charts going like, well, I think it's going to bounce sideways because that's what my chart analysis tells me. I mean, actually playing a game is much easier in a live stream context. So I already think in Twitch, there's more of a gameplay focus, and there's more of a scene of creators who are focused explicitly on gameplay. But even there, the financial stuff is still pretty prevalent. In the Twitch chat, it's a lot of, how do you profit on this game? And I'm like, I don't profit on the game. And they're like, what do you mean you don't profit? And I'm like, I'm playing for fun. And they're like, what does that mean? Even though it's small, even though it's early, I do think live stream culture is an area where gameplay has to be there. Otherwise, there's just not much to stream. And so that's one place to keep an eye on to see like where more adoption might happen, is maybe in the Twitch community. A little more word of mouth style. If a Twitch category has enough momentum to get 100 people watching the category, that can lead to onboarding of new players, that can create more communities, like creator communities that can then diversify into other games, and it can lead to more gameplay content elsewhere, like YouTube videos, clips on TikTok, and other short form platforms, etc. I also think that esports is a huge area. Consistently, in my experience, tournaments are the best way to drive attention to Web3 games so far. How is Axie Infinity remaining relevant in a post-play-to-earn era? It's 100% because of their esports program, which, by the way, Axie Esports is one of the only places where competitive gamers can make a living in crypto gaming. The top Axie players absolutely make a good living doing so. Those prize pools are insane. It's a very small number of people, but the ones who do it, they do make a good living. So esports is a big part of what has allowed Axie to keep the momentum in spite of the bear market still reducing their active players overall. At my job at Blockborn, with Tezos Gaming, offering rewards for competitive play has consistently driven the highest quality of engagement as well as the highest amount of engagement. People are very excited when there's paid bounties and prizes to compete for on leaderboards, etc. And esports still offers some financial interest since there are big prize pools, big payouts. Someone is winning a big prize when a big tournament happens. So there is still some aspect of someone's making a bunch of money for the people who do find that narrative exciting. It is there to some extent. It's just more, that professional athletes make a lot of money, even though you're not expecting to get any of it for yourself. So there's still a little bit of that there. Overall, in crypto gaming, I think we need to build trust and make friends. Build your friend count, not your follower count, because you're going to post content that you think is pretty good and that you're trying to do something, and you're just going to get no engagement sometimes. And you're going to see stuff that's like, very shallow content, and it might look like it gets a lot of engagement. It can get disappointing. You have to get away from, I think, the vanity metrics, especially when there's so much fake engagement and botting at times on various platforms. Focus on making friends and contributing to communities in a way that you can tell without any posts needing to get liked. And then, ironically, your posts might get more likes, which is kind of how it seems to work. And focus on engaging with good games and good projects. Focusing on projects you don't like is just too easy. There's so many bad projects, and while sometimes they're notable and they're worth talking about, I think when you're trying to get your name out there for the first time and you're trying to kind of get into crypto gaming, you're going to get a lot further and you're going to have a lot more productive results posting about things you like as opposed to things you don't like. It's also, by the way, easier to find things you don't like. So there is actually more of a challenge, and it's more rewarding to actually figure out how to make content that's like, hey, I found something cool and here's what it is. Overall, the need to be extremely patient is at hand. We are still a few years away from having lots of gameplay and really having the kinds of Web3 gaming experience that we would love to have. Until then, we mostly need a lot of patience. I think one thing that drives people to make weird content or to sometimes go into more of a scammy, sort of less honest lane is a lack of patience and a lack of creativity. So turn up the patience, turn up the creativity, and make something good. Don't just start posting about how your favorite project is going to the moon, because in my opinion, it's not high quality content. Be more creative, try funny and silly things, and don't try to impress investors if your goal is to make content for gamers. We need to break the cycle. As long as the most visible content around crypto gaming is the most financially speculative, we're only going to turn away gamers more as this content gains traction. We need content by gamers for gamers, not this weird 100x to the moon thing that's a little too common right now. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you. Goodbye.